Hey everybody, this is Jim, and welcome back to another lesson of Introduction to Korn Shell. Last time we went over some pattern matching, and I wanted to continue that today. Say, for example, you've asked somebody a question and you wanted their response to be yes or no. Well, if their response begins with a lowercase y or an uppercase y, then you know that the response is yes, and you know if the response begins with a lowercase n or an uppercase n, then their response is no. So really, the only thing that you need to test for, if you're looking for the word yes, is that their response begins with a lowercase y or an uppercase y. So that's what we're about to do. We're about to show you how you can have choices of characters. What this if test here does, it takes the person's response, which is stored in answer, and it compares it to the following: square bracket, lowercase y, uppercase y, square bracket, followed by an asterisk. What this means here, this square bracket, lowercase y, uppercase y, square bracket, is a choice. It says that it's okay to have anything inside of these square brackets here. It will match any character inside of those square brackets. So it will match a lowercase y or an uppercase y. And then, as you know, the asterisk means anything or nothing. Therefore, this test right here will be true if the first character is a lowercase y or an uppercase y followed by anything or nothing. So really all we're testing for is, does the response start with a lowercase y or an uppercase y? If it does, then the test is true. Now you can do more, you can put more than two characters inside of the square bracket test here, the choice test. For example, this right here has all the lowercase vowels and all the uppercase vowels in a square bracket. So this would look for any vowel. Now there are some other things that you can do with the square bracket test. For example, you can give it a range. So we saw that you could give it a choice of characters, as in lowercase y, uppercase y, and that would match a lowercase y or an uppercase y. Anything else it wouldn't match. And we gave it a range of characters. We gave it all the vowels. Here we're giving it another range, but we're putting a dash in, and what this means is numbers 0 through 9. In other words, if this starts with a 0 through 9 and it's followed by anything or nothing, then this test is true. And if it's true, then what the person responded with was not a word, because it started with a number. Now the ranges that you can use do not have to be 0 through 9. For in this example it was 2 through 4. So if you wanted a smaller range of numbers, that's perfectly okay. And I also wanted to show you another example of using a specific set of ranges. In this case right here, I put in all the odd numbers. So for this example, the response would start with an odd number. So once again, the square bracket test, it just looks for whatever is inside the square bracket, and if the response has whatever in the square bracket, then it's true. So for this case right here, you're saying anything that starts with a 1, 3, 5, 7, or 9, and is followed by anything or nothing. And I wanted to give you a couple other examples of the square bracket range test. And right here we have lowercase a through z followed by uppercase a through z. So what this test matches, is anything that starts with a letter and is followed by another letter and is followed by another letter and then is followed by anything or nothing. So what this will test for is that your response starts with 3 letters, and they could be lowercase or uppercase. And this will expand out obviously to be all of the letters of the alphabet, and this will be all of the uppercase letters of the alphabet. So the last thing I wanted to show you is this right here. What this says is it looks for A through Z lowercase and then takes the opposite of it. So what this test right here, this square bracket not sign A-Z square bracket will say is true is anything that is not a lowercase a through a lowercase z. So the uppercase letters will come out as true and numbers will come out as true, and anything that is not a lowercase a through a lowercase z, for example, an open parenthesis, would fall into that category also, and then anything or nothing after it. So what this test tests for, it just wants to make sure that the person responded with an answer that did not begin with lowercase a through lowercase z.